how's it going? So, been hunting, garage sailing, found me a set of Polk Audio R50s. Two of them in pretty bad condition, to be fair. Pushed in centre domes, cases a bit deteriorated, some lamination coming off, then a bit of a spruce up all round. Now, they sound like mud. They sound like a muddy stream of effluent running down a pair of shit tits. So they just sound crap. They're disgusting. Like there's heaps of bass there, but it's just so muddy. It's just there's no. I feel like there's nothing over 25,000 hertz, 25 kilohertz. Like there's just no highs at all. So I think maybe the tweeters are blowing, but then I put my ear up to them and I can hear the tweeters going. I've done some Googling, and the R50, the specs, they're 8 ohm speakers at 150 watts, 90 decibel sensitivity. I put my multimeter on those ones and I'm getting 4 ohms out of them. Now, they don't actually have a rating on the back of those Polks. They've just got the R50 model number and then a serial number after that. They don't have any other details on the speaker whatsoever. So I had to find it all out online. So I'm still not sure if the R50 that I was looking at online was 8 ohms because it was maybe just a slightly different model than those ones. Or my 4 ohms is because the tweeter's blowing and there's something in the crossover. And that's why they sound like shit. So, how do we fix that? I don't know. But I'll put them on the table, pull them apart, give them a clean up, give them a service. Maybe we'll fix them, maybe we won't, maybe we'll just clean them up. Either way, they'll look better. Hit it. Alright, I've got the crossover off. It's basically just take the back terminals off the speaker box and the crossover is connected to the back. What we have in it is a coil probably separating some of the frequencies, obviously low, mids and treble. Oh no, because what have we got? 2 drivers, not sure, but we've got 2 coils, we've got a couple of resistors, and we've got a couple of capacitors. Now the resistors look right, they're not burnt or charred or discoloured or anything as with the coils, but one of the capacitors, if you can see the top, let me try and, can you see the curvature on the top of the capacitor? So it's actually expanded and pushed out, whereas this one's nice and flat. That is a 100% telltale sign of bad caps, like so they've gone rogue, gone shit. The old electrolytic capacitor, they break down over time. So we'll have to replace that, pull this out. I'll see if I've maybe got one lying around in something else and bang it in there. But hopefully that might be the cause of our low impedance readings. But it's weird because I'm getting the same impedance reading on that speaker. So do they both have the same bad capacitor problem on their crossovers? Let's see. Hello. Yep. Bloody perfect. Come here and go for it. So same capacitor, top of it bulging. Other side, which will be the low end pass, sweet as. What can I do, little spot? What can I do? Well, I guess I can clean them, give them a good thorough cleaning, clean all the woofers as well, just get the dust out of them, make them look pretty, try and get those cones back out, because that sucks, and I'm sure that probably buggers with the acoustics of the woofer in some way as well. So bit of hot water, nice and clean, looking far fresh, but had a bit of damage here, so we'll just fucking drop a bit of the old PVA in there and wait. Oh, much better. Alright, got me soldering on nice and hot. We'll try and get this cap free and give it a bit of a test on the old multimeter and just prove that it's bad. And even if we don't prove it bad, we'll still just swap it out with something else anyway and hope that gives us a better impedance reading on the whole circuit, speaker circuit, and hopefully sounds better anyway. Right, here I've got a power supply board for a DVD player, and on it I've got a 15 farad 400 volt and a 10 farad 400 volt. So I'm going to plug the soldering iron back in, inside of those, give them a test, see what numbers I get, and if I get, you know, anywhere between 10 and 15 on both of them, I'm just going to whack them in there, see what happens. Right, we've got our capacitors of slightly different value back in there. I'm going to go ahead and throw it back together, and hopefully we can certainly notice a change, at least audibly, if not as well on the multimeter as well. Alright, well I've got them back together behind me, wired up, already had a listen, mint. So, perfect, easy fix. So, two capacitors that were bad. Now, admission, I have replaced them with two capacitors of the wrong value, obviously you've seen that. One's a 10 farad and the other's, I can't remember. One also was a polarized capacitor and one was a non-polarized capacitor. In the speakers you need non-polarized capacitors because it's an AC sine wave going to a speaker, and polarized capacitors need to be in a DC circuit, so you've got negative, positive on, you know, one side and the other. So the one with the polarized capacitor, the tweeter is working a lot better than it was before, but it's not great. It's not as loud as the one with the non-polarized capacitor, which is the one that should be in there. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'll go into JCar, I'll get two non-polarized 12 farad capacitors, and we'll come back to it, and they'll sound even better. But if you've got speakers with bad tweeters, I guess the way to diagnose would be put your ear to them, see if there is anything coming out or not. A blown tweeter would have a burnt out voice coil, so it wouldn't produce any noise at all. So if the tweeter gives out even the faintest of something, go straight to the crossover and have a look at, you know, the caps, because you could have the same situation. I guess if your tweeter makes a little bit of noise but it's quite scratchy, then you could hear the voice coil, or you could hear the copper coil scratching on the outside of the voice coil inside the magnet. So that would be blown as well. But yeah, there you go. So I hope you take something away from it, and if you do, if you don't, yeah, hit subscribe anyway. And I've got heaps of other audio gear. It all needs repairing. It's all rubbish. So yeah, see you on the next one.